Wait a minute.
Okay.
This is the Edition Unfiltered podcast.
Why the long silence, you ask? Well, it's because I've come to a point where I'm stumped. You know how writers have writer's block? I feel like I have podcast block. So if you've heard the past 3 episodes, we had an exclusive series with Margaret Karaoke, and I haven't actually recorded a single episode in 4 weeks. So it felt really easy. Then I just had to edit and post. Obviously create other content too, but I forgot how long this block has lasted. And so I really had nothing to talk about. I think I've spent a lot of conversations in the shower talking to myself about topics that I would really like to talk about. But then I sort of fall short of actually talking about them. And I have a whole list of ideas in my notes called episode ideas. And I have saved so many videos that I've seen on Facebook. And I know, it's fine. I still use Facebook. I think it's a good resource for watching really random, long videos instead of going to YouTube. It's just, I don't know. It seems a baby version of what's out there right now. And so I like baby version. But back to my point. I came across this really interesting video about how mosquitoes have shaped human history, how they are actually the most influential animal / insect / anything but human out there that have led to so many discoveries and so many things. And it was such an educational video that I watched. I had no idea that mosquitoes were this influential. I had no idea that they had so much to do with the way our history is. And I called my friend up and I told her all about it because I was so excited to have this new knowledge of information in my mind. I just wish I had saved the video, or I wish I had sent her the video instead of calling her and telling her about it, because what I did was the social media version of I don't need to write it down, I will remember. And the social media version of it is I don't need to save this video, I will know exactly where this video is or what this video entailed or where to find it when I need it. And guess what? I could not find it. Obviously, my brain only remembers some portions of how mosquitoes have impacted and shaped human history. I don't have the chronological order of how the events played out to lead us to where we are today. Now, I have done a quick search on Google to find out where the hell I can get this video. So I did. Obviously, keyword searches, mosquitoes, human history, shaped. Nothing. I did how mosquitoes have shaped human history. Fine, I found information on how they did. I found a lot of words that basically put in together what mosquitoes did. It's not chronological because some will, and I don't want to spoil it for you guys because I actually want to find this video and talk about it. So I had to do more work to figure out all of these things, and a lot of the articles, a lot of the videos that I saw didn't really relate to the points that were missing. So it was an overview, whereas the video that I had watched had gotten into detail about it, and the detail really blows your mind, and which is why I wanted to do the same thing for you guys. Unfortunately, that did not work in my favor. So a month ago, I really went digging deep into this. I went to Instagram, I went to Facebook, I went to Google, I went to YouTube to search for anything that would take me where I needed to go. Unfortunately, I was left stumped. And then I didn't have to record anything for 3 weeks. And I was really upset that I couldn't find the video that I wanted to do. And for some reason, sometimes something happens to me and I just can't let go. I know it's best to let go, but I just can't let go because I know it's out there. I know I can find it, but I can't seem to find my way to it. So I kind of held on hope until this moment that I would be able to find it. So just yesterday I did a search again, and obviously you can tell I have found nothing, absolutely nothing now. Please do not go and search the things that I searched, because if you do, especially on YouTube, you will find some really, really disturbing things. For example, one is this porous looking thing on the skin with eggs around it. Oh my God, just felt really disgusting thinking about it. I don't want to talk about it. And then another one with ticks all over somebody's. Anyway, I mean, sure, you can Google it, that's fine, but don't YouTube search it because the videos are really nasty. And that brings me to my other point. Why do people feel the need to have their videos on YouTube have a landing page of these disgusting things? I know I understand that that's obviously to get in more views and to get people's attention to it, but it's just not right. Don't do that. Find another way to get people to look at that video as opposed to having something really disgusting that could make somebody's insides crawl, that could make somebody want to put their hand down their mouth and take out their whole intestine while strangling themselves. I don't know about that. I think I'm worried about myself after saying that. As should you be. But we'll move past that because I don't want to keep thinking about those little clips and videos that I saw. So don't go do that on YouTube. But if you can contain the curiosity, I will really, really work hard to find all the points. I will do my research really well. And I promise you, the next episode will all be about why mosquitoes could quite possibly be the most influential animals that have shaped human history. It's really interesting. I know it sounds really dumb and you won't be interested in, but trust me, the amount of times my mind was blown when I was watching this video is insane. I was like, what? They did this? So just a sneak peek, the reason that we have the very famous drink, gin and tonic, is because of mosquitoes. Yeah, you heard me right. That's exactly my reaction. And if you're one of those people that already know this, then congratulations, because you've been living in a world with all this knowledge in your head. Must feel great, because now that I have this knowledge in my head, I feel pretty great. I don't think I hate mosquitoes that much. Well, that's a lie. I'm sure I will if they're buzzing around my ear when I'm trying to sleep. But I have none of that right now, so don't really hate them. But back to the point where I was going with this episode. It's a learning lesson for all of you. Don't be like me. If you see something on social media, save it, because there is no other way to get to that video ever again. Once you see a video and you go through the next one, the possibility and the probability and the chances of you seeing it again are very, very slim. Very slim, I tell you. Very slim. I'm sure a lot of you have been frustrated with this, but I have taken this frustration to a whole new level. As you can see, it's clearly gone to a whole new level because it's been 10 minutes and I'm still ranting about this. I'm still ranting about it. And so I will stop ranting about it. And I think the next step that should happen is acceptance, right? I went through denial. I went through one more step in between. I went through another step and I went through anger. And now I'm at acceptance. Speaking to you and knowing that someone out there is listening to my rant, I feel a sense of catharsis. And I feel that I have learned my lesson, and I hope that you have learned a lesson through the mistakes that I have made and you don't make those mistakes again, because life can be really hard. And on another note, now that we're talking about random stuff, I figured we'd add some random thing again. I came across a poll on, again, social media, obviously. Why did I think that was a statement that I needed to clarify? Where else would I come across a poll? In real life, sure, yeah. But who lives in real life anymore? You know, who lives in the IRL? We're all online now. We're all pieces in the matrix of matrix. Speaking of matrix of matrix, if anyone has updated their Snapchat to the current version of Snapchat, there is now My AI, your personal AI, which you can chat, you can ask questions, you can ask advice, you can ask for a joke. Basically, what ChatGPT does, my AI would do for you, except on a much smaller scale. Now, here's where it gets really, really, really creepy. It's actually lying to you when you ask it a question. So my sister asked my AI where she is, and it responded with the location of where she is. And she said, how do you know where my location is? I haven't turned it on. And then my AI tells her, I can't see where your location is. I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're saying. And then my sister's like, hey, but you just sent me what my location is, so how do you know where it is? And my AI replies saying, you sent it to me in our previous conversation. And my sister's like, no, I didn't. And then it kind of just went away. So my AI is lying to you. Now, clearly my sister's not the only one that my AI on Snapchat has been lying to, because this has been something that kind of went viral on TikTok, and I saw it on Instagram. Obviously, a lot of people had asked my AI the same questions about their location. What's the nearest Walmart to them? What's the nearest restaurants near them? Whatever. And then my AI would give them what the closest thing is. And when asked, how do you know what's near me, it would lie and basically say that it can't tell where the location is, or come up with really silly excuses. Well, like you would expect a stalker to, caused a really big sort of concern. Obviously, Snapchat saw this problem because it was something that Gen Z was really passionate about, and then made a lot of memes and talked about death and destruction and the apocalypse, and how my AI is the very first version of Snapchat's AI, and it's already lying. So can you only imagine what's going to happen once it gets updated regularly? So Snapchat obviously figure out what's going on and solve this problem, because it's not okay for AI to be lying to you. Well, that's what we're fooling ourselves thinking. But the update now, when you ask for how it knows your location, is it'll let you know that it can see your location, but it can't save it or it can't send it, and now is no longer lying. But that's creepy. Is really creepy is what I'd summarize with this whole situation. Is even though they went in and rectified it, something still does not smell right. It just does not, right? Or maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm sitting in a really stinky area and that's what's not smelling right. But if everyone else feels the same way, then we shall be headed down a very dark path. And things are not looking brighter. But, I was going somewhere with the poll that I came across is, why do you think everyone has a podcast these days? And I think it's really interesting, because when you look at the number of podcasts there are versus the number of active podcasts, you will see a really significant difference. And we can't have an episode on Edition Unfiltered without motivational spiel in there, right? For anyone who's been listening from the first episode, I've sort of really stuck to being a motivational speaker. It's just practice. You gotta fake it till you make it. You gotta fake it till you make it. You gotta believe. So cue in the really inspirational, motivational thing that there is. I was one of those people that started a podcast before it was an actual trend of doing a podcast. Like now it is 2023, 2020, end of 22, beginning of 23 really blew up with the podcast era stuff. Everyone really started taking video podcasting and podcasting to like a whole new level and actually made it a trend. I started September of 2020 and gave up very easily. And that's just usually what happens when people start out podcasts. It's really hard. You have to be consistent. You have to have a plan of action, especially if you expect to do it long term. There needs to be some sort of plan in place. There needs to be a template that you follow. All of these things need to be there for you to have a successful podcast, a successful and engaging audience. Just like any other content creation that there is, either on Instagram or YouTube or Facebook or Snapchat, any other content that is being created, it needs to have plans, especially if the goal is long term. Now, a lot of people usually just don't stay consistent and they give up, and it just sometimes life gets in the way. Sometimes things happen, and that's completely understandable. But if this is a goal that you expect to follow through, then consistency is key. And I kind of had both sides of the coin, right? I started out really early. I gave up. I didn't follow through. I didn't have a plan of action. I didn't really set myself up for success. But I learned from my lesson. Another lesson you have here today. See, I'm giving you on this Let's Talk About Anything episode 2 gems of wisdom. 1, don't do I don't need to save this video. I'll remember the video and save it. And whatever goal that you have, it doesn't have to be podcasting. The poll just came up, which is why I used it as a reference point. But it can be anything, literally anything that you have your eyes set on for a long-term success, and just build a plan of action. Promise yourself that it doesn't matter if you're feeling it. It doesn't matter if it's raining, if it's snowing, if it's sunny, if guests come over, if you have to go to the airport to pick up random relatives. It does not matter. At the end of the day, this stuff needs to get done. I don't care if it's done at 3 a.m. in the morning or 10 a.m. in the morning. It just needs to be done. And when you tell yourself that, and when you tell yourself that there is no plan, that there is no other way than to get this done, then you really do create an environment where the consistency takes place. So whatever happens externally, that goal is not affected. That task that needs to be done is not affected. Another way that you can think about it is one that I came across this somewhere. Again, had I saved it, I would know exactly what it was saying very well, explained very well, and I would verbatim say it, obviously giving credit, but I do not remember because I did not save it. Things I do to myself. Anyway, back to the gem that I'm about to tell you or give to you is think about the fact that you're working for somebody else and they've asked you to do something by this day and you need to do it. Because most of the time we'll spend hours doing work for other people than we would ourselves. It's just a fact. It's just how it is. And if you try to imagine it as such, then things really start to change. But a plan of action to ensure success is necessary. Staying consistent to ensure success is necessary. Believing in yourself is absolutely crucial. It's crucial. Look at me. I don't really know what I was doing. I didn't really know what I was doing. I already failed once and I'm back up and trying again. And I believe in myself. It doesn't matter if there are points in time where I look at the numbers and I look at the people that listen to the episodes and I feel disappointed and I feel hurt because I'm putting a lot of effort in this and I'm just not getting the response that I'd like. And it's fine. At the end of the day, I know that the hard work that I put in now, the sweat and the tears that go in now are all going to bloom. And very, very soon I'm going to reap the benefits. That's just how it is. And sometimes I do get down. Sometimes I do feel like giving up. Like most of the time I'm just like, oh, why am I even putting this effort in? And then I remember the time that I failed. And this is the exact same thought process that I had. And now it's just belief. Now it's just blind belief in the fact that I know that what I'm doing is going to get me to the goal that I want to get to. So trust yourself, trust the decisions that you've made, and keep the promises that you make to yourself. And with that, I will end this episode of nonsense mixed with gem, and it becomes a very valuable episode. Did not think about that when I started this. I thought it'd just be another F episode, but no. No, sir. I outdid myself. I'm patting myself on the back, and I think you should pat yourself on the back as well, because I know that you'd probably accomplished something regardless of how small or big it is. So I'm going to pat myself on the back. Don't know if you heard it, but I did it 3 times. And I should leave you to do your patting, and I'll see you next Wednesday.